Fire Brigade. And basically I just hand it over to you, but now it's their meeting, so.
Thank you. I'll kick off. John Bold is my name, and I'm the Assistant Commissioner for Rural Fire Service across the state. So my role is to coordinate rural fire service across the state, and in my role I support the Regional Assistant Commissioner Steve Barber here, who's the AC based out of Rocky, and Tony Johnson here, he's the Director. So Tony's the Chief Superintendent. He manages functions of day-to-day operations. My role really is about strategy and talking to politicians and at that level. So I want to acknowledge everyone that's been here today, and I really do appreciate you coming out, because it's a powerful, and I would expect for many, including myself, rather an emotional experience to go through our recent history. It's something that we very rarely do, and it's something that I really don't want to do again. But we are where we are. Also, I'd like to acknowledge Ian Pike here. Ian's the President of the RFBAQ, Rural Fire Brigades Association of Queensland. And while Ian and I don't always agree on everything, we do work hand in hand on a great many projects. The ultimate goal, of course, is to create a better rural fire service as part of Queensland Fire and Emergency Services. What I'm seeking out of today is to support this community in the best way we possibly can into opening a rural fire brigade in this area. We're also more than happy for the current fire station up on the corner there to once again house the rural fire service that belongs to this community, protects this community, and is part of a bigger machine. So from time to time, the primary role will always be to protect your home patch, mates looking after mates, landowners looking after landowners. But of course, the way the seasons have been recently, there's also a huge expectation on local brigades to support at state level. If we just look at today I think we've got about 140 rural fire service volunteers working in the ACT and working in New South Wales. Playing a vital role, and what we're really doing is repaying New Zealanders, Western Australians, South Australians, Victorians, everyone who's come into our patch to give us a hand with our pretty heavy fire season. Now the nucleus of the fire season was really around this patch the year before last. You've had your fires this season. The other major area of attraction, area of really big industry and support was down around Canunga in the southeast corner. So we are in a growth industry, and the climate has changed. Whether or not it's changed permanently, how it changed, why it changed, I'm a firefighter. We deal together with what we get. So it's not an easy step to be where we are, but I certainly want the community and us to work together to get a rural fire station set up, re-established in this position. So that's my opening, and really not sure where you want to take it from here.
When is my question, when can we get the fire station down the road opened?
We can re-establish a fire brigade within a matter of months. It's a matter of opening a new brigade, getting people to apply, going through that process. With a bit of luck, a whole heap of those new members will be former members of Captain Creek or surrounding brigades, and I certainly want a fire station well and truly established on that site before next season. So does Steve Bennett, so does the Minister, so does the Premier.
So do we.
So, brilliant.
It's all about us.
So let's all agree on that the outcome of today is to re-establish a brigade out of what's currently known as the Captain Creek Rural Fire Brigade.
Why do we have to change the name? This is a community. This is all Captain Creek. It's like a suburb of Brisbane. You wouldn't change your headquarters name from Kedron to Sydney or something. Why can't it remain as Captain Creek Rural Fire Brigade? It's a community. It's like a suburb of Brisbane. Why do you want to change the name?
Unfortunately, this is the second time that that brigade's been deregistered. So we as QFS, we as representatives of the Minister and local members and Langston Council would like to have a whole fresh start.
We'll change the name and everything will be different, won't it?
Mate, for those of us who don't know, can you run through what was wrong with the old fire brigade and why it was disbanded? Because, mate, I've been away for a while, I've got no clue, and I'd just like to, wonder if you could spare a few words on that subject.
Yeah, but I will, because I'll only do that as far as I can, because I'm restricted really heavily by privacy provisions.
Doesn't stop me telling the media everything, does it?
I haven't called the media once. The media called me.
Like news organisations.
People who have contacted me in my office as either acting deputy or assistant commissioner, giving me their stories about events that happened here. There's been a number of investigations into this place. A lot of that is public. A lot of our side is on. You can moan all you like.
Yeah, we can moan all we like.
Please do.
What's going on? This is a whole community. You
Because-
can't just keep telling everybody to shut up and put up.
No, have I used the word?
No.
So don't. So, I cannot, by law.
These people don't talk over the top of
I'm
them.
not.
You are. You're just bobbing off everybody who's got an opinion. I said, why do we need to change the name of that place? You didn't answer it. There's no answer.
Can I answer it again?
He did answer it.
Can I answer it again?
Sorry, he did answer it.
Everything everybody says here will be called.
Hey, Stan, let him say it. Okay, show some respect.
Settle down.
We see a new name as a new start. Okay?
Have you got
History.
an idea of what the new name is?
I want you guys to come up with the new name.
Captain Creek.
But I suppose you've got a plan B on that name. Please do.
So with your new fire brigade, when you get in here, you're going to be talking to volunteers and hopefully draw from the pool of the volunteers that we had before.
Yep.
Because those volunteers were obviously good at what they did. I personally have an issue, and I need it explained to me, why those 47 volunteers, or forget the upper echelon, which is what's being questioned at the moment in that club, but the rest of those people, the average Joes and Joannes that were in that thing, why were those people sacked? Like, I can't understand how they sacked or deregistered or whatever they were, because they belonged to something that was deemed by your department to be wrong or unlawful or run incorrectly. Those people, like I'm not a member, I've not been a member of the Fire Brigade, but I see the injustice of those 47 people being tagged as, and through the media, they're sacked, these people are sacked, they've got to reapply. Try Agnes or Lomi or somewhere else. We don't want those, we want them here. We want the same people back, and those people were sacked without just the whole electricity thing. And the Tony thought, I just see it wrong that the way that those people do the investigation with the problems at the top, but the people that did the work on the ground should not have been sacked, sir. They should not have been sacked. They've been tainted with a brush that they should not have been tainted with. They're good people. I know these people, and they are the people that protected us strongly in the deep water fires of that area and protected our whole area here. And then suddenly we've come to this, from that fire brigade in the middle of that photograph there, sir, the happiest mob of effectual people that were doing the job here, and now they're a disorganised rabble of people that are lost because they're tagged as belonging to something that's deemed to be wrong for some reason. All they were doing was protecting their community. So there's another thing I want to say while I'm on the run. There was pens handed out to everybody in Queensland. I've got some paperwork here soon. I'd like to give you a copy you'd like to read after. It was a release from Craig Crawford, and in parts about it talks about all the inclusivity of volunteers across all sections of the community, including the Rural Fire Brigade. Pins were handed out to those people. The people who I believe and the community here believe was the premier fire brigade during the deep water fires in our area because of the volume of numbers and the work that they did, and they were not offered pins. They were not. None of those people got. I think one lady that might have been working in the office or something got a pin from this fire brigade, from this government or fire service or whatever. No one else of these volunteers that did all that hard work got recognised for what they did. Another taint against their name, sir, for nothing that they've done. I've had them crying coming to me, saying, "Well, we've done nothing wrong," and it's an injustice. And I really think that those people should be addressed and somehow placated or rectified the problem that they found themselves into.
I feel that to that I was part of the Oak Brigade. What makes you think after we were treated like that we're coming back and give you the chance to do it over and over again? Why would I? I'm not.
Do you realise that what's been said about this brigade, you're not on the ground, we live up here. People in Agnes, where people belong to this fire brigade, have been uptown and they've literally been spat at because of what's come out about why the so-called charges that have never been brought to light, nobody's got an answer to them, have been answered, and they're being spat at. There was a case a couple of days ago where somebody got spat at. It's wrong.
And I've got nothing to do with the fire brigade, but as a landholder here, I know they saved our property in November 2017. And most of the people here have been saved, and it was our brigade that did it.
That's true, sir.
Yeah.
Where's Craig Magic, the person that imposed all of this?
I imposed all this.
He said he's on it, and that's true, it doesn't show up. That's not true.
I think the question was who imposed. I think the question was who imposed.
I sat in the Deputy Commissioner's chair at the time, and I signed off on the legislation of Captain Creek Rural Fire Brigade. And I'm standing here, and it might surprise you, but I agree with everything that gentleman here said. And I'm bitterly disappointed, and again, I can't stress this enough, how rare an occurrence it is to deregister a brigade. And I am here today as a signatory to apologise genuinely to those people that have been hurt through the process. Right? If there was another way of doing it, we would have done our best to get that done.
Say that the first officer disobeyed orders. Are frontline officers allowed to use initiative in changing circumstances? The first officer did things that he was on the spot and could see. Would you follow a leader who blindly followed orders from HQ, regardless of changing circumstances on the front line?
Have I, and would I? Yeah, I have on occasion. However, sometimes in a fire scene, it's an extremely complex event, right? And you might not realise it, but people in headquarters have got a wider picture of what's happening, and we need everybody to work the same plan. If we go lighting up or doing this or doing that or moving trucks without knowing the big picture, we can put a lot of people in harm's way. That's why when it's your job, in your space, nobody interferes. When it's a big, massive job, and we have literally thousands of people on the fire ground, we've got aircraft, we've got all sorts of things happening, it must be coordinated.
So you're saying we weren't coordinating it? We weren't following rules or something at fires?
I can't debrief on a moment in time. It's not what I'm here for today.
But members are still really confused as to what wrongs they have done, and some of the allegations that we have heard through people who have nothing to do with the fire brigade. They've never been questioned about this. It hasn't been a broad investigation at all. It's like it's taken at face value from a handful of people. But if you asked everyone that was there, well, I don't think that's happened, because I know people that were there and they have never been asked about any of this.
I would like to ask something. You're talking about headquarters having the big broad picture, but the problem is none of them have local knowledge.
Yes.
And everyone from the whatever head office here at the time of the deep water thing was outed from the office. So there was nobody in the office who actually had local knowledge.
It's a team game, and when we set up a headquarters, we need people to come in with local knowledge, and I tell you, very often, it's like pulling teeth.
Stationed elsewhere.
It's like pulling teeth trying to get people to come in and work side by side in control points in incident control centres. And that's a
So
statewide
when someone comes and
phenomenon.
gives you local knowledge but then gets argued with, what about that?
Again, I can't debrief on a single point in time.
Have you provided any validation for the reason you closed the brigade?
Deregistered the brigade. It's been right through the process. We're about to go through the ombudsman. I've got no problems at all taking what we've done to the ombudsman. We're dealing with a state local member, we're dealing with a local government, we're dealing with an organisation like QFES. We deregistered the brigade. I wish I didn't have to do it. I'm not going into personal details about people. I want to be here to start a new rural fire brigade.
How about reinstating it and just kicking along, mate, all as well?
There's no reinstating. We're opening a new fire brigade.
It's not possible, John, at all.
Legislation's quite clear.
Yeah.
Legislation, it's a closure of a brigade, and a group of individuals can write to the commission to start a brigade. There's no thing, so it's the legislation that controls what we do.
How did you open it again last time?
The lady straight the button, then we'll come back to that. Yeah.
Why can't you talk through what's been really going on for the last 7 years in regards to the brigade without mentioning any names? There's a lot of people here know nothing about what's been under investigation for a long time, since 2013.
Because
In regards to bullying, fraud, malicious damage to vehicles being blamed on other members.
that's why we're here.
Tell the truth.
That's why we're here, because
Tell the people the truth, because there's a lot of people here who just walked away from it after you've got the blame for it.
if I do, I'll end up identifying people.
That's okay.
No, it's not
Just
okay.
let everyone know the truth.
I'm bound by the law. I'm sorry.
But everyone thinks that person is a god. So please tell the truth.
I can't go into personal. I'm sorry. I'm just. You might think I'm some type of pencil neck bureaucrat. I've been in the fire service for 36 years. There is a law on privacy.
Can I ask a question? Excuse me, John, is the investigation into that you guys did, is that finalised?
Closed.
It's finished?
Closed.
So is there
Is
going to be any charges or any reprimands or any does it go forward from there?
Or an outcome?
Is anyone that's found to be wanting is going to
Good question. Good but complicated, because there's no longer a brigade, no longer volunteers with QFES. Those problems will be met should those individuals choose to reapply or to apply again.
So that's it. So those people that run an investigation,
No longer are they?
yeah. So they're welcome to apply to go to this new brigade or another brigade, but they'll be vetted and more than likely vetted out.
Everybody will be vetted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings me back to my other thing. Why have all those other 47 people got to be vetted again?
Because tragically, the only way to step forward was to deregister the brigade as a unit.
Well, how about re-registering it?
As I said before, there's no scope for re-establishing the brigade. We're going to open
Yeah,
it.
well, what amounts to some people have been maligned. Are there any findings of your inquiry so that people in the society here can understand just what people have done that was so wrong that needed deregistration of the board. Otherwise, people are walking around, there's rumours, this bloke might have done that, we don't know. And you say it's privacy, but it's really costing some people because, you know, they're maligned. Now, mate, what redress have they got? You know, like if they've been branded, like you're no good, all of a sudden, we're around the community looking at them doing pretty good.
Unfortunately, I've got no control over local rumours, I'm afraid.
Ladies and gents, at the end of the day, the brigade has been deregistered twice. Twice. There is no other brigade in Queensland that has been deregistered twice. Now that should be sending a very clear message to the community about why. And for me to stand up here and tell you and name names, I tell you what, the point's been completely missed at the end of the day.
But they were different people in different times.
It does not matter. This brigade is But however, if a person in here, with an investigation's undertaken, but that person in here hypothetically was a pedophile and was sitting in this room.
You can't put the people.
What I'm advocating is because can you let me finish? What I'm saying.
That was disgusting.
It was about privacy.
What you just said then was disgusting.
It's about privacy. That's what I'm talking about. No, I am not. Okay, I'll put the person in there as being a drink driver and has been through a process. At the end of the day, that's a personal, private issue between that person and the Queensland Police Service. It doesn't get released out in the community generally until it's all done and dusted in a police
So if you're in a court
environment.
of law and a person's been up for a charge, you can't actually bring up their past record. And you've just said that because this brigade was deregistered once before, therefore it's guilty this time.
No, what I'm advocating is, what I'm saying out there,
Because it happened twice,
the brigade has been through and been deregistered twice, both through internal investigations.
But that's irrelevant if it's different.
No, that was then, the brigade was reformed, and now over a period, as the lady indicated, for a long period of time, through a lot of input for a lot of people in this community, who actually had a significant amount of input through the investigation process, and the brigade management committee that was in the brigade through the investigation. Sorry, and they went through a formal process, and then at the end of the day, through that formal process, people put in, just like in a normal investigation. No, we're talking about this one now. And at the end of the day, people had a great opportunity to respond to any allegations that might have been put forward. And other people came back. So what I'm advocating is the brigade was deregistered. We cannot change that.
Nobody asked us anything. Nobody asked us anything. That man over there sat there, excuse me, Mr. Johnson, on the 2nd of November, you said you had irrefutable proof and it would come out. Well, it's now February.
When's it going to come out?
When's it going to come out?
Surely we have a right to know if we did it.
Nonsense.
As we said, we're bound by privacy, you're not. Has anyone in here, right across the community, been and got the brigade management committee together and actually asked the brigade management committee why the brigade's not there anymore?
Well, we don't know.
Well, have you sat down and asked the committee?
We tried.
Please.
Ask the question. The issue is, one, we want brigade, but two, we want fairness for people being treated in the right process. Now, what I don't understand, or what I haven't seen, is what can actually be made public from these investigations, because we've seen very little. And in fact, any documentation I've seen is referred to, and we'll be making that known, or we'll get back to you on that, but it hasn't happened. And then the second point, which I think is the most relevant, is how can your brigade actually not do the same mistakes if they don't know what the mistakes were?
So just to answer the second question, as part of forming a brigade, we make sure they've got a mentor for a 12-month period to actually lead and support the management committee to make sure that they don't make those sorts of mistakes. By having a different name,
What sorts of mistakes?
we're hoping.
What sorts of
What
mistakes?
mistakes?
Why couldn't you
Can
have
tell us
mentioned work with the last
Listen,
brigade?
yesterday, there was another media release came out yesterday. Did anybody read that? Did anybody read that?
It wasn't.
But it was actually out there in the media. It could be presented in any paper today. There was an interview being conducted this morning, and there was discussions around. So it's information that went out into the media yesterday to every media outlet, and it reiterated. You can read it, and I'll tell you. It reiterated why the brigade was deregistered. Poor financial management, misuse of brigade equipment, significant tension within the Rural Fire Brigade Management Committee.
And do we have access to that? Do we have access to that evidence though? Are we able to see the evidence supporting that?
Substantiated.
Was it?
Yep.
I was on the committee and I
So
never
at the end of the day, that part's done.
I was
We
there, I
can't
never heard
go, we
any of
can't
that.
go back and unchange that, that's done. So the purpose of today is about how we progress to reform a new brigade.
That's what we want.
Forming a new brigade, that's what we're here for. And at the end of the day, at the end of the day, can I just say for me?
They want to get rid of
So at the end of the day, for me, just my support to because I actually the one that actually at the end of the day put a recommendation forward. It's about having a good collaborative team environment. It's about having good leadership, good financial management, and good sustainability.
We already had that. We had all that.
That's where the brigade is going.
We were so bad, why didn't you put someone in there to show us what we're doing wrong?
Okay, that's where we're going, and that's what the new brigade will be formed up on. Now, there was a statement yesterday. There was a statement that came from a lady, not quite sure, that talked about about this meeting coming together about eligible members and about a statement about discrimination. Eligible members is a very simple statement for me. Is that, for instance, we have people that come and join brigades that have to do a criminal history check. You all know that. But I'm talking about new members as well. They have to do a criminal history check. They have to do a complete blue card check. Because we don't know that other members that come across from other states and who want to join Rural Fire Brigades, we want to make sure that the people that join our Rural Fire Brigades are actually the right people to join a brigade. They don't have a criminal history check, they're not involved with children, etc, etc. That's the eligible part we're talking about.
And
once all that's done, how long does it take to get your number back?
Well, yep. Yep. And that's not, sorry, and look, I need to apologise to that too, because that's not a QFIS. We have to go to there's a blue card team that works for DJAG. Yep, so that part's already done for you. You can demonstrate it if you're a new member. But for any member that hasn't been through that, they've got to do a complete criminal history check. So it takes about 10 weeks to go through the full process, depending if you're a Queensland resident, interstate resident or overseas.
Now, what is the process now, please, to get the place up and running again?
That's it.
So to form a new brigade, a group of individuals can write to the Commissioner seeking to start a new brigade. A community meeting is held, and we can call this part of that community meeting to form a brigade. Then people actually apply to become members.
Is there minimum numbers that are needed to write to the...
Just give me a second and hopefully I'll answer the question, okay? So basically, once people fill out the application, it takes about 90 days to go through a process, which is criminal history check, blue card check, as Steve said, if you've been to the state, we have to do the interstate checks, and then we can have an election of a committee. There is no minimum number, but to be a viable brigade with appliances, you need to be able to have enough crew to probably sustain those appliances for 2 or 3 days without other people coming in.
How many?
Well, on average, if you've got a medium, we'd probably say you need probably 10 at least firefighters and a couple of crew leaders for that appliance. And if you've got 2, basically double that. That's just a guide, it's not a hard and fast rule, because if you head west, people that work on shifts and everything else, it's really hard. If you're a...
And you're saying we can start the process now here today?
Yep. Here's the application forms. I brought them with me for those who are interested. If you are a current member in another brigade, you can transfer across to the brigade that's about to be formed. That's an opportunity, because brigade members do transfer around from time to time. And I know there are members that have gone to the other brigades to keep their membership, so when the brigade was reformed, they could come back. And there's a lady up here, she'll be very patient. I'd like to go there first, then I'll come to you, then to you.
There's been some terminated, falsely terminated people from Captain Creek to other brigades, and they've got the blue card police check, and they've had 3 years plus experience, and they've been rejected by the brigades.
local brigades are out here. Why is that?
That's the brigade decision, and I can't overturn where a brigade wants to not accept the membership. I'm sorry? So if that's happened, right, so, and the Ombudsman will tell you, because he's visited me quite regularly, you actually can have a right of appeal for that instance. So you actually write to the area director of the area saying my membership's been terminated. Can I please have some reasons for that? And the area director or his delegate will look at that process. Ladies here, my company is.
So the people, you say that because they're no longer members of the brigade, nothing will be done about the allegations that have been apparently proven or finalised within QFS. Don't you think they have a right to know if something they've had allegations made against them and what the outcome is? Because I've only heard of actual allegations against one person, and to shut it down on one person makes no sense to me. So there must be a list of other people. Surely they have a right to know. I'd like to know if I'm one of those people, but you're saying you're sweeping it under the carpet. You're not going to let them know because they're no longer members.
So as part of a complaint management, anyone that raises a complaint, we look into it, we speak to the individuals, we speak to those that are affected, we do some sort of inquiry, and the person that is the subject officer is aware of the closure documents and is aware of it. We don't divulge that. The lady here had a question.
Yeah. Mate, are there any, the result of this inquiry that resulted in the closure of this fire brigade, are there any charges being laid against any individuals for alleged misdemeanours?
I can't comment on anything because I'm not dealing with those matters. I'm here about wanting to re-establish a brigade for this community.
So will we
Mate, that sort of leaves the question open for the people who allegedly done wrong to cause that closure. If there's no police action, like the old days used to, if you did a bit of crime, you did a bit of time, then you were supposed to be a free man, come back and do it again. You know what I mean?
Yes. So in here it talks about if you've had something put against you, we actually do integrity checks within the organisation there. So if something's flagged from a previous staff member before they re-employed, we actually check with ethical standards or industrial relations. That's happened in the last couple of years. That's part of the process of volunteers as well. I just want to go to John because he did have his hand up.
Just a question. How does QFS exercise its duty of care? You're very quick to quote this audit and audit report. Maybe I'd like to refresh me. That audit was commenced in January 2018, and still yet to date there has been no closure on that audit. The validation for the audit was immediately discounted, but there's still been no closure on that. But QFS is quoting that audit, which was a forensic audit, and referring to misuse of equipment from a forensic audit. The two don't gel together. There's also been an investigation in myself on allegations, which QFS received a report in July 2019. There's been no closure on that yet to date. And even if allegations which have been made by brigade members have been dealt with in a very poor time frame and in a very unprofessional manner. The duty of care by QFS seems to be very, very lacking at this point. And just, so the question is, why can QFS quote an audit which they have not had closure on and use that as validation when they have not actually given an outcome themselves? Why can they quote poor behaviour and performance when the allegations have not been completed yet, even though the independent investigation was completed? What I would like to have out of this, and I've asked this and I'd like to ask it publicly again, is I think there needs to be some type of inquiry, internal inquiry, with an external inquiry, with the council being the recipient, an independent party, instead of being pushed under the carpet, into why a very highly functioning, very active brigade with 40 members with time-proven success can be closed down, because that should not happen. So if QFS could learn from this, what could they do to prevent this happening again? And if QFS has got nothing to hide, there should be no reason why they would not undertake that process.
I'll answer your question, John. Someone has written to the Ombudsman. Because you've written to the Ombudsman, I cannot do any more until the Ombudsman comes to see me.
The Ombudsman has been used as a last resort by us because QFS has taken no action other than to, as has been used here, sweep it under the carpet. Because there has been no outcome from these audits and investigations against myself or the brigade, there has been no outcome. And Ccrfb won't give an outcome. The last line of the conclusion, I'll state this publicly, of the investigation against myself reads, the remaining allegations, I won't go into the 3 upheld, are based on assumption, exaggeration and or false information. They were put against me by paid staff. That shows contempt and that there is paid staff colluding against this brigade. Or what was this brigade?
So Ccrfb has taken action. The brigade was deregistered.
No, Ccrfb haven't taken action. They swept it under the carpet. They have not taken action of those investigations. So a forensic audit and an external investigation against myself has not been released with no outcome. Any investigation, a forensic audit, I think 2 years without giving an outcome is not acceptable and exceeds your duty of care. And then to say we're not going to release it because we've closed the brigade stinks of corruption.
CMC.
I've been a resident here for going on just over 30 years now, so I know about the first closure, which all those members were reinstated again. You may have closed it, but I know that nearly every single one of those people were reinstated. But all that equipment that we, as a community, it's gone. Like, do we have to all start again?
No, the equipment is held in trust.
Okay, so
the
why couldn't it be held here?
Brigades, and when a brigade is reformed, those resources will come back. Mr. Bulge is even committed to making sure the station is upgraded where possible. He's already got someone looking at that.
Painting is not a big thing for us. Yeah. Like, truly, like, we have been so lucky that we are a great community that we haven't had one single damn fire. And that's, like, we have worked hard, all of us, as a community, to not even have a fire in our area this year. You know, like, I live next door to the warden. He has been great because he's not given a permit out. Because there's a lot of people that don't live here, have no idea what happens, fires get out of control. Like, I'm happy to be in this community and I do want to try and serve the next one, but I think we need to get past, you need to sort that shit out with the other staff. But we need to get this up and running today.
So
like,
to move
we
forward,
need to get it. Yep.
I propose that maybe the ratepayers might want to write to us and say we'd like to have a brigade called such and such a name. The people here today that are interested in brigade members take one of these membership forms and then we plan another.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to say?
Excuse me. I'm a former member, most people know that. I've actually been accepted to another brigade and just waiting on Ccrfb coming through their ID number again. Do I keep my original ID number if that happens and qualifications stand?
Yep. So when someone leaves the organisation, when they reapply, we actually do a search in the system. So we actually pick up their previous ID number that has all of their history of their training, their history of events, so they actually don't lose it, so they're still eligible for medals and acknowledgement in the future. That's some of the changes that we've done since the last time, and I acknowledge the lady said a lot of people joined. We have a total different process. We learned from those areas, and we've made sure that the process is a little bit more streamlined so we don't have those issues again, and we've actually keep moving forward. So yes, we go and do a search. If you've been a previous member, we basically just give you that same volunteer ID number.
Okay, all these brigade members that are here now, if they reapply, what are their chances of getting back in? Will they be accepted or will they be, oh no, he was in the one that expanded, chuck him out. Is there any chance of them getting back into the fire brigade?
So the process is, and you're a person that's worked in those government circles, when a criminal history check comes in and it has a positive, the assistant commissioner actually writes to the individual and say, hey, something's flagged, so-and-so many years ago, why do you wish to be a member? I'm expecting, the same as we do for staff with integrity checks, if something's flagged, and we had one recently, where we actually wrote back to the individual and said, look, this had happened, would you like to explain to us why you'd like to be a brigade member, what you've changed? I believe that person is about to join the brigade again because they actually responded to the letter and things had changed. So there are opportunities. Everyone's given natural justice. I know you might not feel like it, mate, they are, and that's part of the process.
I don't feel like there's any justice at all. No.
I very recently signed a whole, not very recently, in a little while ago, and I'm amazed they haven't been delivered yet, because I have signed quite a number of registered letters to go back to people who are the original complainants. I've also closed investigations back to those people who were investigated. Right,
So all our previous volunteers, when we're trying to start up our new fire brigade and they put their applications in, does that mean that's when they're going to find out if they don't not pass the police check because they've already passed that, but whether they're black banned by you guys or not? Like, what? How do we know who can apply and who can't apply?
because I don't know who's going to apply and who's not going to apply.
How many would not get back in? Can we at least answer that? That's not breaching privacy.
Are you saying that people have got criminal charges against them that I don't even know about?
No. No, it's a
That's
new.
what it sounds like.
I'll finish. It's a new brigade. It's a new criminal history check. It's a blue card check. It's a process. The books are behind me. I don't want to take any books back with me. I want to take books, leave them with people here in the community. I want to see a letter right quickly, comes through my office, for me to endorse, to go to the Commissioner and say, boss, we've got a really good chance of opening a new brigade in this area.
I've got a question. If I reapply and will become a member again, will I get my money back that Ccrfb is still owing me from the last fire we had here? Because I put the receipts in and I never received my money back, and it's nearly $200.
Okay. If we owe you the money, we'll pay it back.
I don't have the receipts anymore.
Mate, these inquiries that you have, are they in public or private? How public are they?
Everybody, I just spoke to another gentleman before, anybody and everybody, we have a right to information legislation in Queensland. You can put in an RTI, you can ask for the information. I'll tell you right now, the information is going to get a whole lot of black lines through it, because I will not identify individuals.
What if it's that individual was asking for it, would they know that they're actually
So it's private.
on that list?
And then what do? We prosecute the person for breaching privacy if they release that to the public.
If they're asking.
They're on the list, right, surely.
So you're saying even the individual doesn't even know they're on there?
I don't know they're on it because I've written to them.
They do know.
Yeah, I started off with this outrage when we closed down our fire brigade, and it started off with forecast to be
Please, people, listen.
season, especially on the back of the season that we had here before. I've ended up outraged. My main outrage now is how these volunteers have been treated. I'm not part of the fire brigade, never have been. Those same volunteers are the ones that are going to come here when it dries out and mow the lawns. They're really active members in our community and they support it. It's belittling. It feels like you're belittling and bullying them. They never got the pin. It seems petty, but it's huge. Every volunteer should have got one. It's huge. Who made that decision not to give them a pin?
No idea.
The name Captain Creed. We identify as our community. We identify with it really strongly and we're proud of it. Why can't we keep our name? It's not something we're ashamed of, and it's not something we should be ashamed of. Does the legislation say we can't use the name Captain Creed for some reason? What is that reason? It's one and the same. The community is one and the same.
When we have the opening ceremony, reopening ceremony, at that shed down on the corner, the pins will be issued. I've got 35,000 RFS volunteers. I apologise, I don't know why the pins haven't been distributed here. Not all the pins have been distributed.
One member of that brigade approach got one, didn't miss them. It just chose not to give it to the other,
Exactly.
every other single member of that brigade.
That's
He
funny.
only one member, so he didn't miss them.
And I'd like to know where Mr. Magic is. I mean, he is the guy.
I told him not to come.
Why?
Because I signed the deregistration. I'm here, cop it. But this, fine. I deregistered Captain Creek Rural Fire
But
Brigade.
he's the one that's caused this.
I want a new brigade opened up. I don't know how many times I need to say that. When I leave today, I want to leave a community encouraged and empowered to start the process to open a new brigade, please.
Well, give us our name back. Yeah.
Do I reinstate the number?
Cannot be reinstated.
Yeah, bye-bye.
I'm sorry, that's your choice.
Not that I don't want it.
Excuse me, I tried to.
Can I? You recognise me?
Absolutely.
There you go. I'm sorry, I'm not from within your district. I'm very interested in what's going on, and because this hasn't just affected your community, it's affected the whole of every volunteer in Queensland, and I have a fair bit of contact outside this, and I've done the question the same as you're asking, but the fact is the brigade has been deregistered. It's actually nothing to do with QFES about forming a new association. The original way that fire brigades were formed was that a local community came together and said, we'd like to protect ourselves from fire. We've got a bit of machinery here and a bit of machinery there, and we'd like to take this forward. The way forward today is for you to form that new association, and it takes a number of simple motions. We, the assembled citizens, do this and do that. And you elect a chairman and a secretary. You nominate somebody as a treasurer. When you've got a few bob in the bank, your treasurer's active. You decide the name of your organisation. Nothing to do with QFES.
Let's go with that.
You do that today. You do it today. You don't. That is. I have read every single thing that I can find about the formation of a new brigade, and the process is, it has nothing to do with QFES. To form your own local association and then approach QFES as an organisation, you're already protecting your community. You're already doing the work of the fire brigade. That's what you assembled for. And you ask QFES for a hand, would you register our brigade? That's the process. If any one of these fellas in blue can say that I am wrong, you've got to have some good information, because I've done the work and I've looked for it. There's nowhere to find that it is your role to form an association that becomes a brigade. It is your job to register that brigade.
Doesn't the commissioner have to sign off on it?
The commissioner has to sign off on that.
It's part of the process in the way.
But we're at the other end. You're at the other end. It's the final registration that stays with the commissioner. It is you as a community to form an association that says we want to protect our community. Don't let that be taken away from you. Don't sign up one by one. Form an association and name it yourself. That's the most petty thing that I've ever heard, that they're going to decide the name for you.
Just getting back to that name, is there anything wrong with us calling ourselves Captain's Creek Community Rural Fire Service?
There you go.
The name has changed, and we're a community.
Ready? Today? I agree. I agree. Tell you what, set it start. We might start winding this up now, I'm not sure. I want a couple of people either to decide now or to come up, introduce themselves to me and say, I want to be the leader and be the person who forms up the letter to write to the Commissioner to set up a brigade. And we'll do everything we can to support that. It's got to start here.
All those in favour of keeping the same name, say aye.
Aye.
Those who would like to see a change, say aye.
How does that go?
You can change it. You are a community with rights that QFES cannot take away from you. You can call your organisation whatever you like.
Community Fire Brigade is a great name. Is that allowed?
What?
Captain Creek Fire Brigade is allowed. What about the Creek community?
from the community, the re-establishing again, the sheds down there, the trucks will come back, everything you own will come back, reapply, become members of the new rural fire brigade that's working out of that site. As I said at the start, I want a new brigade in shape, ready to go in this coming season, okay? Thank you for your time.